Hello to our viewers today. I'm Eric Williams with Bennett Realty Solutions. I'm actually a real estate agent and an investor. Today it will be our second episode of Realtor Talk, and we're here with Miss Diane Lindsay, and she's a loan officer with Paramount Residential Mortgage Group. If you chimed in last week, you saw our episode with her colleague, Roxanne Rodriguez, where we spoke on tips on how to win in today's competitive, as a borrower or buyer, in today's competitive real estate market. So today we'll just more or less touch on the various types of mortgage programs that are out there and available to today's buyers. And we'll just give Diane an opportunity to introduce herself today. How are you, Diane?
I'm doing fine, thank you, Eric. And I wanted to thank you so much for this opportunity to chat.
Absolutely, absolutely. Tell us a little bit about your company, about your, give us a little bit about your background, Diane, and a little info on your company, maybe the culture of your company.
I've been a loan officer for 25 years. I really enjoy what I do. Helping people get into their homes is so rewarding for me. And I've been here at PRMG since about March. And the company is actually a company for loan officers. And it has a wonderful, wonderful culture. Everyone helps you out. Your managers, you can go to any manager, your colleagues. So it's a wonderful place to work, and I like it. I like it a lot. The underwriting is really good, common sense underwriting, and we get the deals done. We get loans closed. We get them closed typically 30 days or less, which is what the market demands now. So.
Okay, well, awesome. I think being in an office-friendly, good environment, work environment, not only helps you to perform, but it actually helps your clients as well, because they have someone that can really focus and go to bat for them and get the job done. That's wonderful. Well, I just want to get right into it. Let's talk about some good mortgage programs that are out there for buyers, and maybe first-time home buyer programs. I don't know. Let's just start talking about some of those programs that you guys have available.
Okay, I'm really excited about the NONI program.
Was that NONI?
NONI, N-O-N-I.
Okay.
Non-owner occupied, no income. Now, you might say to yourself, how do you get a mortgage loan with no income? This, of course, is an investor loan. And
so no, I'm sorry to cut you off.
No, go ahead.
So this loan is for investors only.
It's investors only.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. And the loan is set up so that the income flow from the rents covers the investors' PITI. So when you talk about wealth building, this is a particularly wonderful way to build up wealth in your generation and pass it on to the next generation. You really can't get any better than that. And this program is the vehicle to do that. First of all, there's no income noted on the 1003, and therefore there are no DTIs. You don't have to worry about debt to income. You don't have to worry about how many properties you own, because that's when people investors, they own properties. That's what their whole purpose is. And for this program, it doesn't matter how many properties you own, and that's the beauty of it.
Well, great. That's great information. As a real estate investor, I know that one of the major challenges is having funding or cash to complete the deal. So I'm glad you raised this program up. How does one qualify for this program?
Actually, the credit scores go down to 650, if you can believe that.
So what are the requirements? Because it almost sounds too good to be true. What are the requirements
Well,
to be eligible for this program
you have
as
to
an
put
investor?
you have to put at least 20% down, and if you have good credit, 700. The rate is actually 4.25, and they are pricing the 30-year fix the same way they're pricing the 5/1 and 7/1 arms. So instead of getting an arm, you can actually get a 30-year fix on this program right now because the pricing is that good. So of course you have to have reserves. It's 6 months reserves.
Okay.
So once you have the appraisal done, then if the rents established in the appraisal cover your PITI, you're golden. And let's say, for instance, there's a shortfall between the appraisal rent and your PITI.
So let me ask you a question. Does this product only fit for buy and hold, or is it geared towards fix and flips as well?
No, this is a buy and hold.
Buy and hold.
I'm glad
Gotcha.
you mentioned fix and flip. I want to talk about that. This is an enticement to you to have me back.
Okay.
Talk about that particular program.
Absolutely.
Okay, because that's another boon to investors.
Okay.
We're talking about wealth building, and this is a great opportunity to use two programs to get yourself set up and your next generation set up to be wealthy.
Well, wonderful, wonderful. Did you have any more information you wanted to share on that? Was it Nona?
Noni.
Noni.
N-O-N-I.
Okay. Is there any more information that you wanted to allude to or share about the program?
Let me see. I did mention that the credit score goes down to 650. And the property, the deal can be structured in the name of the LLC.
Okay.
So,
awesome. Okay.
So that's how a lot of investors are being set up now.
Absolutely.
And of course, on residential, you can't do LLC. It has to be in your personal name. But on this program, you can actually have the loan in the name of the LLC. I thought I was missing something.
Awesome. Well, let's move on to the next question. What additional programs are out there that you guys offer for buyers?
Well, we have the Chenoweth program for buyers who are buying residential properties. And the Chenoweth gives up to 5% of the sales price to help the buyers with cash and close.
Okay.
Now that's outstanding right now. You might as well say it because the sellers aren't giving any money. It's such a seller's market. They're not pitching in any call to the buyers.
So what's the maximum allowable help that a buyer could receive through this program? Let's say in theory, is it 6%?
It's 5%.
It's 5%.
It's 5% of the sales price.
So they're actually receiving the maximum allowed.
Yes, it's a 3.5% program that is forgivable in 3 years, and this 5% program is forgivable in 10 years. It's
Okay.
fully forgivable. Both programs are fully forgivable, and the credit score starts down as low as 620.
Okay.
Okay.
But the better the credit score, the better the rate, I would imagine.
No, actually, the better the credit score, the more debt they allow you to carry.
Okay. Okay. Well, let's do another. Let's say, let me throw this out there, like a what if scenario. Let's say we have an average purchase price of $250. What does that equate to in terms of what you would give to the buyer in this sense, and what would the buyer need to bring to the table in terms of cash?
In a scenario of 250, the program will give you $12,500. okay?
That's great.
And it depends on the amount of taxes and so forth. But typically, the borrower is bringing in the neighborhood of about, say, $8,000, $9,000 to the table.
Okay. Well, what kind of underwriting does Paramount Residential Mortgage Group have? And first off, can you talk a little bit about what, just give us a better understanding of what the underwriting process, what it is for our viewers, and then talk about what your underwriting process is like.
Well, what I do initially on every deal is, of course, if the borrower is willing, is to take a loan application and for credit. That's where I start.
That's
Figure out-
pre-approval.
Right.
Was that pre-qualification? Pre-approval.
Well, I pre-approve the loan after I get all the documentation in to support the application
Okay.
and run it through AUS, which will hopefully get me an approved eligible.
So just for clarification, for pre-approval, you need W-2s, last 2 years tax returns. You
Bank
want a full
statements.
tri-merge credit report.
Yep.
You want to check their savings to see if they have enough money to bring to the table. For
Exactly.
closing. All right. So that's like the upfront step to
Right.
pre-approving,
Right.
getting someone set.
Yeah, and the whole purpose of that is to send it to underwriting without any, hopefully no surprises, because I've gone into the credit with the borrower to see that they don't have any judgments outstanding. A lot of times when I put credit, there are errors on the credit report that we have to sort out. And oftentimes the borrowers have no idea that certain things are on the credit. So that process is the first step, and once that's clear, basically I give a lender letter.
Okay.
And in this market, it's been really tough, but that general program helps them with cash.
Absolutely. That's awesome. How long does it take you to get a loan completed?
Oh, I'm glad you asked that. And this is where many realtors like you are really concentrated, because they want to know that after they do all their hard work, they can close the deal. The better the quality of the deal, the faster we can get it closed. We're trying to we are at a 21-day close, but not everybody can close in 21 days depending on the difficulty of the deal.
Their situation. Okay.
Right, but typically 30 days.
Okay. Did we discuss your background and experience? Why don't you tell? I don't believe we did. Can you tell us about that?
Sure. I have 25 years as a loan officer, and prior to that, I worked for the state of Maryland as a financial examiner. And as I was going into mortgage companies as a representative for the state of Maryland, I became familiar with what the loan officers did. And I thought to myself, I can do that. And I made the change, and I haven't looked back.
No regrets.
No regrets at all. No regrets.
Fantastic. Let's go back to underwriting for a moment. Can you kind of glaze over that one more time for us, the underwriting process? I guess you just really quick, can you summarize that for us yet again?
Yeah, the loan officer up front determines the quality of the transaction. And the more that's documented and made clear, knowing that the underwriter will ask certain questions, I ask those questions up front, so that when I send a file into underwriting, then it comes back with very few steps, with very few conditions. So we go through that, spend a lot of time up front in the transaction, so that we don't have any problems during the transaction and toward the end of the transaction.
So as a part of that, also preparing and conditioning the borrower, i.e. the buyer, let's say for what is to come, let's say, or what's needed, and also like not making any major purchases until the until the deal's been closed? Or can you kind of
I'm glad
speak
you
to some
brought-
challenges that you see throughout that underwriting process? Right?
I'm glad you brought that up because the more I educate the borrower, the better the whole transaction is. And I encourage the borrower to ask questions, no matter how small. I encourage them to do their own research as well, so that as we go through the process, the more they know and the more they understand, the more comfortable they are.
Okay.
So I do set expectations, and I do ask them not to buy anything until they get the keys in their hands at the table. And that way, we're safe.
Okay. It's not over until we have a consummated transaction, until the transaction has been
The
completed.
keys.
In the keys in hand, absolutely. Well, we want to thank you for coming out and speaking to our viewers today, Diana. Do you want to kind of give a plug on how our viewers can reach you for more information?
Oh, absolutely. They can always call me. My number is 410-599-4122. Or they could email me. My email is dlindsay. That's DLIND, S as in Sam, AY, at prmg.net.
Okay.
And I thank you so much, Eric, for having me on this discussion.
It was totally my pleasure, and my hope is that our viewers out there watching and listening were able to pull some good nuggets and help them to prepare as they move into the home buying process or the borrowing process. This will conclude our second episode of Realtor Talk. I hope you guys enjoyed and look forward to seeing you on upcoming episodes. Again, my name is Eric Williams. I'm both a real estate agent as well as a real estate investor. If there's anything that I can do to help, feel free to reach out. You'll see my information in the bottom left-hand or bottom right-hand corner of the screen. And that's bye for now. We look forward to seeing you in the next episode.